Welcome once again to Bradley Central High School football here on Talk 101.3 The Buzz, also on YouTube, Facebook, as well as another social media. Can't even think of what it is right now. But we got you covered here every way. And our show is always brought to you by Doss Brothers up on 25th Street. We appreciate them being our sponsors for us here on our Damon Floyd Coaches Show. And Coach, we've talked about the coronavirus. We're sick of talking about it. And we talked about it Friday night on the air. We had Mix 104.1 here for our media blitz. And I don't want to dwell on it. We'll talk more about it next week, touch on our fans coming to our games. But this week, talk about, since it's a road game, the impact that it had on our team. And it's not just our team. It's every team in the state. We lost a lot from the March shutdown. And going back to March, I was on the air with Bradley girls basketball, and they lost that first round of the state tournament. And Dr. Cash came and done an interview with me. And the pandemic hadn't exploded. And I just asked her then at that time, I said, what do you think about this pandemic's coming up? Is that going to be a problem for us? She said, well, we'll just wait and see. Little we know, 2 days later, just 2 days later, we'd never come back to school again until this fall. And people are not close, but they don't realize the impact of not being at school has. And you as a head coach, I mean, it's right there in front of you, and there's a lot of stuff that you lost. Could you sort of reflect on that a little bit? Yeah,
I'm sure. Well, first of all, like you said, everybody's in the same situation, so what all we missed, every other team missed as well. So, but it's scary as a coach, because you got all these players that you're worried about, and are they going to be ready for football season, those kind of things. But safety obviously and their health concerns was the most important issue that we dealt with, and just the protocols you got to go through. But as far as missing spring practice, off-season workouts, 7-on-7s, jamboree, scrimmages in the fall, it's a little different. And quite honestly, I would be shocked if it's not a little ugly football at the beginning, on both sides.
Oh yeah, it's got to be almost.
It's just different when you line up on the Friday night lights, and those scrimmages and all those things you go through beforehand. Normally, it usually gets you ready for those. But like you mentioned, it's a lot of protocols. We understand. We're going to do whatever it takes for our kids to be able to play.
Yes.
And
everyone does.
Yeah, that's right. The most important thing is we and still fingers crossed. We got to get to Friday and kick it off, and hopefully nothing happens. But like I said, we're going to do everything we can to make sure we're doing our job so our kids are healthy and safe, and then get a chance to compete on every Friday.
Well, looking at your tenure here, this is starting your 15th season.
Yep.
Second longest tenure after Jimmy Lovell, who started in 1916. I don't think I broadcast his games, but and he has the most wins. You've got the second most wins now, but you came in here from a assistant position and promoted to head coach after a 1-9 season, and obviously going 87 wins since then. That's pretty dang strong, and you've got our team in the top 10 seem like every week during the season. Do you see any significant changes in any part of the program or the fan base or anything that's happened since then? I mean, if you say, wow, 15 years ago we didn't have to worry about this, but forget the coronavirus. But
yeah, man, where do I even begin? Yeah, it's a lot different than it was. Like you mentioned, we were 1-9.
Yep.
But we were 0-10 the year before that.
Right.
So there really wasn't a whole lot of interest. I mean, I remember walking through the halls, and back then people didn't even want to wear their Letterman's jackets. People didn't want to wear their jerseys on Friday night. It was almost like we were kind of laughed upon, just to be honest. But I did know our wrestling team was good. I mean, they were winning state championship. Our basketball team, they had just went to a couple of finals. So I knew the pieces were in place. We had kids on the campus that could really help us. And so that's what we did as a coaching staff. Went out and tried to get our kids in the halls to play football. Unfortunately, some of them did and got a little interest, and then started getting nice uniforms. And then
success.
Yeah, and you would be surprised that you get some Nike uniforms and kids like, wait a second, I want to play. So
that logo, huh?
Yeah, we just tried to, and branding. We tried to brand ourselves and put it out there as much as we can. And we first started, didn't have a whole lot of coaches. I think we probably had 6 on staff. Now we're at 15. So. I mean, it's every year I'm turning people down that want to come to Bradley and coach. So that's a good thing.
Yep.
But we've been fortunate. I mean, we've had a lot of good players come through. It was just kind of the right timing, and fortunately I was the guy at that time. And we've had a lot of good players. The other one deserves the wins, and so there's some lot of losses in there too that we feel really bad about. That some that's got away. Farragut, of course, being some of those, and so I got to do a better job on that end. And we need more wins.
Yeah.
We need more wins. In 15 years, we need more than whatever it was you said. So. That's our goal, is to win every Friday night. And the other thing I will say this, there's a lot more people involved in our program now than when I first started. We have game day crews where we have 5, 6 dads or former dads or people that don't even have a kid that played that come and help you see them every Friday. They're setting up, they're taking down. Booster Club's really good. Brian Copeland, he does such a good job of going out and, selling our program and raising money. So I could be here all day probably telling you all the differences that is now compared to back then. And I think one of the things, and we're not the only school that does this, but everything trickles down, NFL, college, high school, but we kind of run ours like a college program, and we take it very seriously. There's a lot of work put in the off season, not only from the players, but our coaching staff, and we got a great group of guys that really care about Bradley football.
Well, it's obvious that they do love the players and all that, and it starts with you there. Talk about your coaching staff. Do you have any additions this year or changes? You shifted any guys around, or what's the latest on that?
We did. We got Todd Burkhart, who used to be the offensive coordinator at Walker Valley when they were scoring all those points with Bryce Nunley and Cooper Melton, Alex King, all those guys. They had some really good teams. Then he went with Courtney Braswell, who was with us, to Chattanooga Central and Ridgeland, and he was at Notre Dame last year, so he's back with us now. Been trying to hire him for about 2 or 3 years, and he wanted to come back to Bradley. This is where he graduated from, so that's a big hire. He's helping in the secondary. One that we're really excited about that we just added this week, and we'll put it out there, in the next couple of days, Austin Heinrich, who played quarterback here locally and then went on to ETSU and was a Southern Conference champion, starting quarterback up there. So he's going to help us on our offensive staff. And but other than that, I think I don't want to miss anybody, but I'm pretty sure everybody else is people that's been here for at least 1 year, and the majority of those guys, talk about Scott Ford, Keith Freeman, Matt Moody, Blake Gideon. Those guys have been with me since really the start, and that's big in a program, especially at 6A level, is to have that cohesiveness where, they've been here for so long. We know what each other's thinking, we know each other's philosophy, we know what we want to accomplish at practice every day. So it's nice to have those guys.
Well, last year we had a record-setting offense, 41 points a game. Do you see us again as a fast, quick strike? We got Javen Burke quarterback. Yep. That guy can make it happen anywhere.
Lead
the receivers.
Yeah, if not, then we're not doing our job as coaches. Coach Moody does a really good job of putting those guys in position, but really letting them play. And we hope we score fast. Now, I'll be honest, there's sometimes last year, and we've struggled defensively last year, so we come on the sidelines, we're trying to fix a couple things, and all of a sudden it's like you're back out there because
we done scored again.
It's 1 or 2 plays and we're scoring. So honestly, we'd like to keep our defense off the field a little bit more and control the clock a little bit more, but we're never going to complain about scoring fast, and hopefully that continues this year.
Absolutely not. Get those points any way you can, whenever you can there. Your captains this year, I know you've talked about captains. They're picked by the players. I think coaches have a vote themselves, but basically it's picked by the players. And I think they look around. They know what's going on in the locker room and on the field. And they know who's trying, who's wanting to do the best, and got the team's at heart as first priority. Talk about those. Start with your quarterback, Javen Burke, and some of the other captains there you got.
Yeah, I'll say as a group, we're really excited about this year's captains. And, I forget how long it was, maybe 10 years ago, we started letting the team vote on it because we felt it was important. They know like you said, they know who the leaders are. They see them every day. We do as coaches, and we each get 1 vote too. But usually when you vote for captains, it's a pretty wide margin. We've had 4 captains, we've had 5 captains. 1 year we had 6 captains. So those top guys, they know who they are. They know who shows up every day. They know who works hard. They know who doesn't just talk the talk. They walk the walk. And, starting with Javen, I've said it many times, and because, of course, they've had a lot of people asking about him with him committing to Virginia and those kind of things. Media wanting a lot of interviews, and he is just what you want as a quarterback. Yeah. He's a guy that's going to show up early. He's going to stay late. We went to a practice the other day, and it was one of the hottest practices we went through. And I'm at the end of practice, I take your helmet, shoulder pads off. We're going to do some conditioning, and the next thing I know, everybody's walking off the field. Javen's got 4 receivers out there throwing.
Really?
And it's 100 degrees. So
why he's a captain.
It is, and that's probably why he's going to Virginia. Yep. He's obviously got a lot of God-given ability, but he does all the little things. He's the strongest kid in our weight room. I've caught flack over this because I claim that he's the fastest kid. Well, Javon got mad about that, and then Cannon got mad about that. So
his twin brother, Javon, by the way.
And the good thing is we at least have a conversation who's the fastest. So
yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I can't brag on Javen enough. Camden Creighton, not the biggest, probably 155, 160 pounds, and he plays middle linebacker. But he's a guy, that he knows every offensive formation we go against. He knows what we want to do defensively as a coaching staff. And it changes a lot. We base our defensive fronts on what the offensive formation is. And Camden, he knows. You can tell him one time and he knows it. So another guy that shows up every day, works hard. Braden Clark, moved him all around. This year he's going to play some wide receiver. Last year he played linebacker. This year he's playing safety.
He's Going to punt too, isn't he?
Oh, and punt, yeah, I forgot about that. And adds a little bit, not only punting, but he can throw it, and he's pretty fast too. So maybe some fakes, throughout the year. Ken Hooper, who I know you interviewed earlier, I feel bad, and I apologize to his mom, his dad, him, because he's a defensive guy. We're in a scrimmage in the spring. I put him on offense. And we're trying to just kind of get a mentality and kept him in on goal line offense. And it's on the 20-yard line, and we just keep pounding and pounding, and he tears his ACL. So I felt horrible about that. I know it's part of the game, but extremely happy he's back. I think he'll make a huge difference, not only physically, but more importantly, since we're talking about captains, mentally. He is a leader, and he will lead our defense this year. Bennett Burris, who actually started off playing golf here at Bradley and came out and played football and been a weight room guy, man. I'm talking about how much strength he's gained. It's amazing. He has totally transformed his body. He's very intense. But like all these guys, they're all guys you can depend on. They're going to be there early. They're going to work hard, and they're going to hold their teammates accountable.
Go to war with them.
Oh, no doubt.
We're going to take a break right here on behalf of Doss Brothers on 25th Street. We'll return. We'll take a look ahead at this week's opening game on the road at Knox Farragut, the Admirals, who seem to have their number. Back in just a moment. We're back to Coach Damon Floyd here on our first weekly interview on the Damon Floyd Coaches Show, talking about Farragut. In just a minute, I want to ask you too the class breakdown. We talked Friday night. You said you had maybe 88 or so right now, counting the JV team and all that. And how many seniors are you?
16.
16
seniors.
Okay. And that'll be that's a pretty good. We've had more than that. We've had less than that. But that's a pretty good mix there. And I don't know. We're going to talk to Kobe Dills today too. But we got 3 great JV games coming up in a row. Following Friday, starting on Monday with Cleveland, Walkabout, and McMinn County, all here at Bradley. So that's going to be a great schedule, and we need you to come out and support those teams. Let's look at some more notes here. Returning starters, offense and defense. What are you looking at?
Defense is, I think, 9. Now we're including Ken's because he started as a sophomore, didn't miss, and he missed last year. So we've got 9 guys that were starters at some point in the last 2 years. And we need them back, and we got to tackle better. So hopefully those 9 guys are obviously improved. Offensively, I think it's 5. We probably had 6 or 7 that did start some games last year, like Brody Morgan. I know he's offensive lineman returner. We don't consider him a returning starter, but he started, I think, 3 games for us last year because of injuries and different things. Carter Howard, who will run a lot of tight end sets this year, he started some last year, but we weren't really a tight end offense, and this year we'll be primary tight end offense. So he's a starter. So 5, 6, something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds pretty good. And I can't talk enough about how happy you and everybody is. We got 6 home games this year, and my goodness.
We are happy.
4 last year.
We are happy. I wish it wasn't COVID because we might have been able to get a little savings account going and make a little money. But, yeah, last year we played 6 away games. This year we have 6 home. So the good thing is we're keeping season tickets price the same. So you're paying for 5, but you're getting 6. So, we are excited. But, the good thing is, too, with COVID going on, we don't have to travel a whole lot.
Right.
So, because it's a little different travel this year. And, I'm finding that out this year. It's much harder to find buses. And then you got to think about when you get to the opposing team's locker room. I know Knoxville, they have social distance where it's mandated on the sideline. So there's a lot of things that go into travel where it used to be get on the bus, eat, and let's play.
Well, I talked to their AD, Donald Dodgen, a couple of times this week up at Farragut, and they're going to do a lot like we are here. He says they're going to check you as you come in. You must wear a mask to get in the gate or you will not be allowed. No exceptions. And he said they're going to rigidly enforce that. And they're doing temp checks like everybody's doing. We do here at Bradley, and they're going to do those up there as well. But they're going to have limited tickets available. I think Coach Jackson's got some tickets, but they're going to go first to the families of the players. Any left over, they'll go to the general public. And he told me if they have extra tickets that Farragut does not sell, they'll have them on the Vischer side at the gate when they come in on the Vischer side. So I would try to get a ticket before I left if I were you, but it's going to be on the radio, so you can listen to us on the Buzz 101.3. It's our first game, our opening game, which is always exciting, whether it's on the road or at home. But what do you expect from past experience? Do you anticipate anything odd besides coronavirus going on? I mean, you never know what to expect, probably. But
I not odd. I can tell you this. I know what we're going to get from Farragut because it's, since Eddie Courtney's been there, it's the same thing every year. It's really good product. I mean, they have a really good program. They have a lot of kids that go on and play college at the next level. And, I think we counted the other day, and there's like 15 to 20 kids in the last 4 years we played them in the regular season that they went on to play Division I
Is that
college
quarterback
football.
gone finally?
He was a 3-year starter, so he graduated.
Killed us last year.
But you know, when he played as a sophomore, their starting quarterback got hurt while he was playing. Then he came in,
Yep.
and then he never relinquished the job. He was a starter for 3 years. So it's going to be different kids, but they're going to be the same type kid. They have a really good program, really do a good job in the offseason. You walk on the field and you look over there, and they got really good size, and you can tell they've been in the weight room. So that's the teams we want to play, you know. And they've had our number. We let some slip away, so hopefully it'll be an exciting game Friday night.
Well, obviously, he's been there 25 years. He's doing something right as head coach, you know, and he's had our number. I think we're 1-14 against them,
Yeah.
and, including the last 11 in a row that they've won. So we gotta get the balance going here.
You'd think sooner or later it's going to shift.
It's got to. It's got to, because we're going to start that this year. We'll find out Friday night. Kickoff's at 7:30. You can hear it all on Buzz 101.3. You can tune in there and listen. This interview will be available to you on Facebook, YouTube, and also bchs.tv. For the Doss brothers up on 25th Street, we thank you for your support there. For Coach Damon Floyd, thank you for watching the Damon Floyd Coach Show here on the Buzz 101.3. Until next time, God bless and go Bears.